What's happening, Ben?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
You did the round last night with them.
Yeah, I was on with JF for a little bit, like right after he left Andy's stream. I'm totally not taking sides in this. It's
No,
pretty
you're cool.
interesting.
I missed most of it. How was that? What was the mood?
He had Nick Fuentes and Sticks on at the same time, and honestly, we were just kind of talking about like YouTube and bullshit that YouTube has pulled. We didn't really get in. I didn't really get involved in the whole thing because I don't even know totally what the big problem was. I guess JF had a problem with things Andy was saying, or no, Andy had a problem with things JF was saying on his own channel. Correct?
It was a lot of posturing, and the other one not wanting to acquiesce to said posturing
I see.
until they it's best analogy I have is they're playing fucking chicken and they're willing to crash the fucking cars into each other like a bunch of goofs.
Like, who's the boss? Chicken. Like, I'm the boss of this. No, I am.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
it got to that point, and that's just ridiculous.
I agree.
I don't know. Failure. You were on there too. Well,
Yep.
you were on with Andy. I know that.
Yeah.
You popped on with JF right after Ben. Was like the mood. Was his chat happy?
Well, I would assume that most of the people in his chat were his fans, so there was, a fair amount of people that were upset and people that were just disparaging Andy. What I would expect that, to begin with. I got invited to go on with JF. I've known JF for years. He used to be on Drunken Peasants on a fairly regular basis, at least once a month. So I don't really know Andy that well. So I just, he asked if I would come on, and I came on, and it didn't really seem, he seemed surprisingly calm while I was on there. But yeah, the chat was blowing up like you'd expect. And then after I left, he brought Aaron on, and then it kind of took a turn for the worst, I guess.
Here's the thing. We had Paul on last night, but we also had him on the other day. And a lot of people are saying that Paul kind of stirred up the shit too this week with, bringing up the JF stuff. I think he was just, saying what a lot of other people have been saying. I don't think any one person is responsible for Andy doing whatever Andy did.
No, I wouldn't hold anyone else responsible for choices that they've made on their own. There may have been some influence there. I watched a little bit of that, but no, I wouldn't say Paul is solely responsible for the breakup or even really had that big of an impact. Ultimately, they choose to do what they want. So,
I still think that, they should just have a fucking talk even after all this shit.
I agree because it's no secret that there was a rift in my show, within this last year, and I think it is better to just kind of work things out than it is to have a big public feud, that sort of thing. I think it's easier for everyone, especially the audience. They don't have to deal with a fractured fan base, but I guess on the bright side, they might get 2 shows out of this. So.
Oh yeah, he was making bank last night, so he should be happy about that. I think the only bad thing is Andy's channel had a bigger platform. It had way more subs. Made it easier to book some bigger guests because you could show like, hey, yeah, this channel has 200 something subs. Come do your stuff over here if you're not familiar with us. The other thing is if JF has a bad show, can't blame it on Andy. Can't blame it on the low IQ people. He has to take the responsibility on himself. Yeah, he. The thing is, JF is big on if you're low IQ, you're bringing down the show, you're bringing down the numbers. So it's can't just put it on Andy anymore.
I don't even think it's just the bringing down numbers. No, I talked about it for a good long while. I look at this like it can go several ways, but best case scenario, it goes like a brand split, and maybe these two can come together and do something with each other, maybe once a month, once every week or two. That's how best case scenario. So there are people who like them together, and people who are going to like them apart, or say they would like them apart because they're the JF crowd that's like low IQ Andy, and then the Andy crowd that's like fuck JF. I mean,
Yeah, and even that dynamic makes for a more interesting show, especially when they butt heads, but it doesn't get too personal. I heard they had a safe word, so sometimes it did get a little too personal. That can sometimes happen. Yeah. When sometimes when egos get a little too inflated, you'll have that. So I don't know. Hopefully they can work things out because I did enjoy it. I watched it, especially the whole Baked Alaska thing was when I really was watching pretty much every minute of both your show and their show. So
the Baked Alaska thing is still fucking like people think that Andy and us we were trying to tear him down. It still isn't that. He's doing this fucking kooky praying shit and everything. Fucking, all right, go do that. But at that time, it was just people trying to give him some advice about like, hey, your numbers are looking shitty, and I'm sure now people are giving Andy that same like, hey, look, you've lost so many numbers this last week. You're fucking up.
I mean, your numbers are going to go down when you have to deal with demonic possession. So
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. I can't believe he played that card. Like, was it the demonic possession that made him sniff coke too? I don't know.
Maybe
he was just trying to have a good time.
By the way, if I'm baked right now is the best time to make a comeback.
That's a good point. Actually,
if you could make a comeback right now is the best time.
I don't know, man. I think right now is about as inopportune as it gets because I don't know. JF needs his time slot. Andy needs his time slot. I mean, we have another big show that now needs a spot to be. There is now one less spot. A lot of people are looking at this as it's going to be the end for one guy. No, I think it's now two shows that are going to be pretty big.
Yeah, as long as they don't decide to stream head to head or anything like that. So maybe they can work something out at least. If they can't agree to work together anymore, they could probably at least agree not to compete against each other.
I guess that could be possible. The whole thing of this is my time slot or whatever. That's kind of fucking gay on YouTube. There's a million other things you could be watching, so to try to claim a fucking certain time slot, kind of eh. But it all depends on what type of shows Andy's gonna do as well. Like, the people that want the intellectual stuff may not be into Andy talking to a stand-up comedian or to a musician or to another YouTuber that isn't, gonna be talking about the JQ. But
here's what I think happened to Andy. The first time you watch people do something like a crazy death match in wrestling where they're going through like glass table shit like that, or the first time you watch a daredevil do their fucking act, you see it. Okay, you see it and it's, wow, what? That was fucking insane. That was nuts. I've never seen that before. This has been the same thing before the years. All right, nobody had seen, Richard Spencer go up against Sargon and who was the other one? The Jared Taylor one and Tariq Nasheed. People, it was very, very interesting. It was very novel. It was not what they were used to looking at. So this fucking happens. Oh, that's great. But then it happens again. It happens again. It happens again. And for Andy, maybe not for the crowd. I think there's a lot of people in the crowd that could eat that shit up all day, every day, no matter what. But for Andy, this becomes the equivalent of sitting there watching people go through a table every single match on a wrestling card. It becomes the equivalent of attending a Daredevil show every hour on the hour.
Yeah, it's like when they do all the high spots in the dark match at the beginning of the wrestling event.
Yeah, he is robbed of the ability to enjoy it because he has seen it so much and just been there too many times. I think that was a big thing with Andy. Is that he just feels like he's seen it too much. He has become numb to what everyone else thinks. Like, everyone else is really into it. Or I say everyone else. A group. There's some that, you know, they're past it or whatever, but there's a lot of people who are really into that shit. And
You know,
he's
I
just
can really understand that because, like, everyone always wanted us on the Drunken Peasants to talk about Brett Keane to the point where we were all just tired of talking about Brett Keane. But that's people just kept fucking asking us to talk about Brett Keane constantly. We would do whole 3-hour shows where we would just talk about this one guy, this loser that, you know, sits around in his bed all day making shitty YouTube videos. But people were just obsessed with that. By the end, we were just like pretending that we enjoyed talking about Brett Keane or that we wanted to talk about him.
Mm-hmm. I bet that got tired, but people are gonna request it every day. I know you guys had a couple of people that you touched on bits with, but Brett Keane would be the one that everybody instantly that is the antagonist of the show almost.
Yeah.
And I'm sure sometimes you're just not fucking feeling it.
Yeah, most of the time, you know, it was fun like the first year or so, but then it became repetitive because he goes through these cycles, and we would just see the cycle so many times, you know, where he would threaten us, he would flag our videos, he would then say, "Oh, I'm leaving YouTube." He'd leave for a month, he'd come back and do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like Groundhog Day on YouTube.
For me, like, I can watch that shit. Like, I can watch the heated debates about almost anything. I enjoy conflict. I enjoy combat. Like, I don't watch movies. I don't watch shows. I like to watch fights, and I like to listen to like heated arguments. I like to listen to it. Like, it's entertaining. I enjoy the conflict. I enjoy it. It's fun to listen to it, to people go at each other. What I worry about is that these two might shy away from conflict now and just kind of retreat into their own show. And that's not what they fucking want. That's not what they want to fucking do.
Yeah, I would say at least what I'm getting from Andy is that he's pretty tired of the drama, at least right now. So I think at this point, well, I don't know. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't know him that well.
He's the one who's definitely going in the direction of he's probably not going to book too many things that are, you know, fights, arguments, conflicts, or whatever. I think JF he'll keep doing debates. I feel like he's definitely going to go that direction where he'll either moderate them himself or he'll participate. One of the two.
I can see that happening because JF's always been into that as long as I've known him. Some of his first debates on YouTube were on older Drunken Peasants episodes back in the day. They don't get as heated as the IBS debates that I see. They were more formal, less personal jabs. But
you had a pretty heated one on your show. I always point to this one because Razor Fist. He's come out multiple times saying how blood sports are dumb. Well, he did it before we did when he went to your show and starts yelling at Kyle.
Yeah, those two did get pretty angry at each other for a little while during that. We didn't really expect that because we had never really seen it progress to that level on the show before. But yeah, that was one of the better ones we did, though, honestly, because it did get, you could kind of tell that they were annoyed with each other legitimately.
Well, here's what bothered me about Razor Fist when I listened to that is that it felt like he had done zero research. He was accusing him of a bunch of things that he didn't even do. Like there's plenty of stuff you can go at. Fuck, I forgot his last name.
Kalinsky?
Yeah, Kalinsky. Secular talk. There's plenty of things you can go with that fucking guy about. And he would pick shit that CNN would talk about.
Yeah, it's true.
It up.
Razor Fist has this shtick. He's got, you know, the Dennis Miller shtick. So I think I don't know how much preparation he really felt he had to do. He would just kind of jump in it and do his Dennis Miller shtick that he does all the time, which is, I mean, he's great in many ways. I enjoy his content too, but yeah, you're right. I didn't feel the amount of preparation that I felt from Kyle. So
it did feel like Kyle he was a little more ready, and that's what was irritating. I think Razor Fist could have easily beat him, but he didn't take the time, so he just didn't fucking know. And he goes in there and just didn't land any real blows, and Kyle came out looking like $1 million. It's not the way he wanted it to go, and maybe that's why he doesn't like fucking blood sports. He remembers that time things got close to blood sports. But I think he was better than his showing there, and he could end up doing better if he would, calm down. It's just an argument, like that thing you tried to do during a debate.
Exactly. Oh man, I'm making the triple brackets in your chat, so the audience must love me.
They think everyone is.
I mean, I'll be honest. I took 2 DNA tests. One said I was 1% Jew, and then the other one didn't say the other one said you're just totally European, white European.
One of those is what you show to the public. The other is what you show to get into the secret meetings.
Oh, I see.
Very obvious.
Yeah. Well, one of them was 23andMe. That was the one that said I was 1% Jew, like Ashkenazi Jew. And then I heard there's some kind of conspiracy theory about that, where they try to make people believe they're part Jew. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
I've heard the theory they try to make people think they just dilute their test to make them think that they're not pure anything. I've heard that was the angle.
By the way, I was talking to JF one time, and I think I said, "Oh yeah, because fucking Cuba is known for their fucking Jews." And the next thing I know, I get like fucking 5 DMs, all fucking linking me to articles about Jews in Cuba. I think there were like a good like 3% of the population, but and now there's like no Jews left in Cuba. So I think if you want to really solve the Jewish problem, communism is the best way. Because they all fucking fled to Miami. They fucking went flying.
Wasn't there a bunch of isn't there still a bunch of Jews in like the former Soviet Union though? So maybe that isn't quite the way to handle it. I don't know. I don't keep up on it that much, but yeah, I was surprised because there's no one that practices Judaism in my family, and like everyone's Catholic in my family, so I was kind of surprised that they detected 1%.
Castro's form of communism. He hated the gays. Apparently, he got rid of the Jews. So if the alt-right really wants to solve the issue, they should look at Castro. Figure out what he did.
Never go full Castro.
The only bad part is all your buildings fall apart. People have to eat fucking rice that might have rocks in it. Yeah. So you have your
drive 50, 60-year-old car around too.
Oh, the ones that to have a good paint job, you have to mix the paint with gasoline so it stays shiny. Yeah, those are good paint jobs. The ones where the fucking taxi drivers make more money than the doctors. Yeah, that's a great society. All right.
Yeah, I was just watching the Greatest Royal Rumble before I came on here. It was pretty interesting. It's like,
fuck. Yeah, I heard about that.
You know how normally they just have normal folding chairs around ringside? Well, here at this event, ringside is solely reserved for the Saudi royal family, and they have these big, comfy, like couch-looking chairs all around the ring right now. It's really strange.
Oh, I bet. Like, here's the thing: a lot of people are complaining, like, what about the women's revolution? Fucking, they don't give a shit over there. This is
exactly.
This is a pay-per-view event called the Greatest Royal Rumble that airs after the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and was only announced last month. They just threw shitloads of money at fucking the WWE, and the WWE said, "Fuck women's, we're gonna sell out."
I like how they call it the Greatest Royal Rumble before it even happens too. I mean, they could call it the biggest Royal Rumble, but the greatest? I don't know.
It's the greatest. Just off the bat.
Yeah.
What was it great? Anything good happen?
I didn't get to see the actual Rumble match yet, but I watched like a few of the undercard matches, and it was all right. Nothing. I mean, obviously, new wrestling blows compared to 15, 20 years ago, but it was good. It was all right.
Yeah.
I'll give it a C-.
I just wonder, like, was Stephanie McMahon even allowed to be behind the scenes? Because They really seem to still be having a hard on about fuck women.
Yeah, I think so. Because there's no female wrestlers or even like commentators or anything like that.
Oh
So-
no, they got rid of all of them. Fuck them. Fuck all the dirty vaginas.
It's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I literally pictured Vince McMahon kissing the ring of the Saudi king that set this up for him.
But I just love it because this is kind of Ted Turner-ish. Just the fucking Saudi fucking Ted Turner. Like, I want to see a 40 man Royal Rumble? Bullshit, 50. Give me 50. I can't wait to see what the next year's greatest Royal Rumble is. Fucking have piranhas in the fucking side of the ring, so when they fall out, yeah. Fuck. Let me see what else there is. Black D Dragon says, like I said yesterday, Andy had his "Don't worry, be happy" moment. He takes mental health over business. Well, and Tonka, your thing is business. Pays the bills, mental health doesn't, right?
Fuck the mental health. I can't believe how much emotions have been brought up to do with any of this shit. Fuck out of my face.
About 6 months ago on my stream, I announced that I had a hernia, and someone made a troll account called Ben's Hernia, and they're in the fucking chat right now.
It's good to know that they still exist sometimes.
Yeah.
He's stuck around.
Yeah. That's how you know you left an impact on someone's life. It's the little things.
Let me see. Doorman360 says hard lines weren't drawn at the start of and disagreements weren't kept private. JF openly disrespected Andy, and Andy should have corrected him privately.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe they get together way before any of this shit ever even happens and make sure that all the lines are fucking clear. How about
that? Yeah.
And it never gets here. How about that? This is my thing. Go ahead.
Alright. Disky Fringo says, internet wars are serious business, guys. We must purge the anime avatars with our sexual chocolate. No songs today. Today is serious business. Chop Top Nada for 2 says, Batanka, the internet is very serious business.
Don't you get away from me with that.
Midran Emmers for 5 says, possible match, Cog versus Rantin Monkey over a Cog strike. Rantin Monkey says Cog deserves it and should suck it up. Have you heard about that, Ben? Mundane Matt gave Cognitive Thought a strike for using his footage. Basically, I think what Cog did was he put up an archive video of Medicare and Matt, having that little discussion at Kilroy.
I'm not familiar with that, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I know Matt. I know you guys aren't too fond of him. I don't know enough to comment on it, but yeah, I mean, was it just the exact upload, or did they edit it to like claim fair use or anything like that, or
it was a
or was
clip,
it
was a 10-minute clip from a 1-hour stream that Matt took down.
Yeah, I can't say I agree with that. At least in the sense, did he ask him to take it down before he DMCA'd him, or did he just hit him with the DMCA?
He just hit him. Yeah. And Cog said if you take away the strike, I'll delete it. Just don't screw over my channel for 3 months, man. Matt seems to be on the stance of it's my content. Fuck you.
Was there like a personal beef between Matt and this guy or something? I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Matt has taken anybody on this side very personal. It's he has said in the past that he doesn't strike people, but as we see today, apparently he's changed his mind.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shioma Anzai says, "What was JF doing before Warski Live?" Oh wait. Well, you're more familiar with JF. I think he said yesterday that this is the first time that you've been on his channel with 3,000 people watching.
Yeah. He made a comparison because when he first came on our stream, we had about 3,000 people watching. So things have kind of reversed a little bit. We usually get around like 1,400 people when we stream now because we've had some major changes with our show, and also YouTube definitely counts views differently this year than they did in the previous years. So yeah. Before getting into the IBS thing, JF was on our show quite a bit. He would appear on other streams, and I believe he was working at Duke University shortly before that too. So and the only reason I know this is because people have showed this to me. But the slow girl that he had the relationship with, I guess he met her through DP, through Drunken Peasants, and she was a DP fan. Apparently, I don't know who it is, but that was in the court documents. Like, our name is actually mentioned in the court documents from that trial.
Doesn't that make you proud?
I guess so, yeah.
That somebody had to read out the name DP or Drunken Peasants. Yeah. Let's see. Garmer 89 says, "I want to see JF and Andy kiss and make up live." Mr. Panda Bear 45 says, "I like big-titted BBW women. I like the tummies and how the jiggle. I want to dive face first into the milkers. Fucking hell, why am I... I just want a BBQT and her chubby fupa." Thanks for the sign. Karanax for 2 says, "Scrubs a boomer." Kevin Welch for 5 says, "If I donate $1,000, would you play Viva La Raza whenever someone donates $2 for the next 3 streams Andy is on?" I can't turn down that offer.
Yeah, that's a good offer.
Yeah. Gentleman Bystander for 5 says, "Holy shit, that reversal. How did failure kick out of that one?" Fuquad says, "Tonka Saw 6601. Tonka versus failure, double KO."
No contest. I ain't for. It's just fun. It's fine. You get it.
Yeah. But all right, Ben, you've had disagreements with your partners before. How much percentage of it happens just off air?
Oh, well, we made sure the majority of it happens off air. I think that's the best way to handle it. If it ever starts to creep into something live on the air, usually the best way to handle that is to keep it under wraps so you can discuss it privately. So a very small percentage. We've never had a safe word or anything like that. I think we just kind of test the temperature of the room and make sure everyone's cool.
Yeah.
I can't say we never butted heads or anything like that, but usually we would handle disagreements off the air.
But pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple was their code word.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Lil Stowe says, "I legitimately thought failure was kidding about having an event. Tonka shouldn't have brought it up, so we would have forgotten about it." I want to ask you, how did you guys deal with your first event?
There were people who, by the way, did not think that it was a joke, and they were asking. That's the only reason why it had to be done on air, because it had been mentioned on air, so it had to be nipped in the bud on air.
You really did mention it on air as well, as this will be a thing for the future, so I can understand being nipped in the bud on air. Yeah.
Miserable.
Oh.
That is I don't know. Fuck it. We
I do want to make it happen. Maybe the Santa Hitler thing wasn't a serious thing. Maybe we were just fucking around. But I do want to make a event happen because Kilroy was fucking horseshit.
You just want to get drunk and go to Las Vegas, failure.
Well, can you blame me?
I can't blame you. No, I can't.
Are you jumping on me now too? Are you trying to fucking get a fight?
I'm just saying. I understand when it comes down to this sort of like you're not going to be VidCon, you're not going to be Kilroy sort of thing. But if you're just going to have like a meetup where you all go for a drink or something like that, just don't put it under the banner of liberalist, and you should be fine.
Alright. Let's see. Leo the Bum Tickler says Kumite group French kiss session win.
I don't know. I don't know.
Ariana Schreiber says, listen to Tonka, he gives good advice on these things. People have been acting foolish lately. Try and take a break from the BS. A Viable Ninja says, I'm on my knees, pretty please. I love you guys. Bo Hiccup for 5 says, can we get 1 day free from Andy? And we spent all day talking about Andy. Tonka, can I pay you to knock me unconscious?
No.
People really, like, all the people that you don't want to fight are like, yeah, come and knock me out. I want you to knock me out.
There's no fucking payoff to this. Like, you want to open up the Coliseum, you've got to get a fight that people want to see. And then after that one fight that people want to see, you get a bunch more people to file in. And before you know it, you have a whole card of people who are willing to fight each other. All people who you know their names and you're willing to pay to see them fight, and before you know it, you've got a thing.
What do you think of that, Ben? Would you want to see some YouTubers fighting that you give a shit about?
Would it be like an MMA match, or is it like a
MMA match? Boxing is boring, and most people can't box and keep their hands up long enough to make it good.
Yeah, because their arms get tired and everything. Yeah, I'd watch it. It'd be pretty interesting.
I have to do it. You can't kick it off with, here's some fucking people who you don't know versus someone else you don't know. Full card of people who you don't know. But hey, we're putting on a card. No, fuck that. You're going to kick it off, kick it off.
You have to, if you have people on that nobody knows, you just have a bunch of people. The whole of the thing isn't it's just what's going on. Who are these people? Who's wrong? Who's right? Wait, what's going on? Why is this even happening? Like, you need to at least know the people that are actually there, and you can be aware of what's going on in their situation and any back and forth they've had with people. But like you say, two randomers, no one's going to fucking know what's going on.
Yeah. LZ Macolite says, did someone say sexual chocolate? Maybe on Monday. Action, the hate crime engine, says, Andy has been JF's bitch. It was an emotional relationship, an abusive one. But Andy got some balls and said, no more cock in my ass. Andy is a man now. Gaming Jones for 5 says, when are you going to invite Emily Eustace or Margaret McLennan on the stream? We could use some eye candy around here. Who the fuck are those? I don't know who the fuck they are. Kevin Wells says, IBS means Internet Boomer Sports. Changed my mind. Lone says, Philly D is doing a live stream. I would recommend going to his chat and bringing up Jonathan Ross and the pedal stuff.
Oh god, let's never bring up Jonathan Ross. Well, no. I don't know, maybe not the worst fucking idea. Who fucking knows?
The problem with Ross is he is a piece of shit. There just isn't enough information to fucking get anything done about it.
Yeah. At this moment in time, like it or not, you are just listening and believing a guy on the internet who's essentially just going, I know it's weird, because, like, why wouldn't you believe someone who's, I'm a paedophile, why would you call yourself a paedophile? Like, do you know what I mean? But like it or not, you've only got his word that he's a paedophile, and he's actually a teacher at school, but for all you know, he's actually trolling you with the whole thing, too, and none of it's real.
Admonish.
Who knows?
Tell him to fuck off. Report if it's true, if it's not true.
Yeah, exactly.
It should have been handled by now.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee people fucking reported that to the max.
I think a lot of people have been, in all honesty, like I've seen in YouTube comment sections. I think some people have been doxing Ross probably in like videos about him and shit like that, which I'm not for, obviously. But it's people are going to do that shit. They're just going to post comments.
Let's see. Landrelord says Sargon versus Spencer was entertaining, novel. Ryan Falk versus Dave Shitrat was the boring, annoying sequel. Word Drink No says Andy Worski lost nearly 3,000 subs in the past 2 days. JF has gained nearly 1,000 and has only lost 14. It doesn't seem that they are equally suffering. I don't know. Andy knew he was gonna lose subs, and
Yeah, you said this. You said it in the stream.
And JF's channel, yeah, of course, people that ended up liking JF and weren't subscribed to his channel are gonna go subscribe to him if he.
Do you guys find that your subs are actually alerted when you start streaming?
Nope.
No, a lot of them don't, and a lot of my subs end up complaining that they get unsubscribed from my channel.
I've heard tales of back when people used to get notified about things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why subs are almost worthless these days. Like, what good is having a sub if they don't get told? I mean, what even is a sub if they're not alerted to you streaming or posting a video?
I've got people who even click the bell and they're not even alerted. So like, and they'll get alerted as soon as my stream ends, and then they've got to wait for the process, obviously. So like, I've got to wait to watch this sort of stuff, and I get comments of people going, "Oh, I've got to wait now," and it's like, I know, I can't do anything. YouTube is shit. It really is.
It is.
A lot of people like ask us, why don't you just do a Kumite when the time comes? Well, it's become a thing where people just expect us to be on at this time, and they just show up. So it's not even I'm subscribed to the channel, waiting for a notification pops up. Is they know it's going to be on at this time, and if there's nothing else on, it tends to be a thing to watch. Let's see. Stan Jarvis says, Nazbol gang. Midra Number says, Scrub plan and a communist final solution for Jews confirms Zamaga. Paul Coucher says, JF likes autists and his fans like an autist. Dual Wield says, AP did a good show on Mormons. Did you know they own Ancestry.com? They have a vault with 25,000 volunteers processing your genealogy. Is that true? Do the Mormons own Ancestry.com?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm going to have to talk to
I've never heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm. They have their hand in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to know, what did you think of the fucking chick from Smallville getting busted for that... What was it? Prostitution ring, slave ring? What was it?
Oh, I wish it was a prostitution ring. It was fucking sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
I've never heard of that. This is my first time hearing about this.
Oh, it just came out. The blonde one. What's her name? Allison Mack.
It was earlier in the week.
Yeah, Allison Mack got busted for being like the second in command in this sex trafficking ring that was going on.
Shit. Wait, are you saying that sex trafficking can happen to women and sometimes women are in control of that? Is that what you're saying, for you?
Not saying anything. Don't.
Cog's putting him in a fight he's not even in.
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, that fucking happened. Like that always like I used to like that show, man. Fucking Smallville was my shit back in the day, and to see somebody that I used to see on the TV on that fucking boob tube now doing some sex trafficking, that's fucking weird.
I mean, like, is she even still an actress, or is she actually just like did she just like lose her career and she was like, right, sex trafficking, that's the only way now to make money? Like,
is it a lucrative venture? Do you get tons of money from the sex trafficking?
Oh man,
yeah. When she was in high school, her guidance counselor said you can either be an actress, or if that doesn't pan out, you can run a sex trafficking ring. Yeah. So. Yeah, she went with option number 2.
Sex sells. Remember that.
All right. Let's see. Margaret's Belly says, I've been waiting for my invite, guys. XOXO. By the way, it's starting to fucking thunder here, so I might lose connection any minute now. So let me pause these. Paul Coucher says, hey, at the vicious pay you tight Sod. Sky Lily for 5 says the problem is that you guys spread misinformation because you only watch clips. You never have the whole story. Well, the same thing can be said about JF. JF left out a lot of things when he was accusing Andy.
What was it? Well, I thought you were talking about us. I was gonna say, if I don't care what JF has to say, it doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. The problem here, yeah, I do namely watch clips. I don't need any other context other than the clip to know that was a bad move that JF was making, and that's what made me say what I said.
Yeah.
And what I said is that this should have been addressed before that was ever even a thing. But if not, he needed to jump on now. Immediately jump off when we were talking about. Just hop off right then and go talk to him, and it would have been easier. That was my thing.
I say what I usually find with the Kumite as well is that I think it's like Kumite. Andy does it a little bit on his. I tried to do it a bit on mine. Is that you have people who are actually wanting to show you as much context as they can and be as honest as they can. That's what you're dealing with here. If you send them something that'll disprove them, they'll show that shit. I've never understood why this has been such an issue for people. Like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. It's as simple as that. What's wrong with being wrong? You learn from that, right? But we don't have that. We've got a lot of people that are like, oh, you see clips, you take it out of context. No, we sit through fucking streams. We get timestamps, sure, but we sit through hours of streams on our own to make sure we know what we're talking about. Sometimes I'll put shit on double the speed and listen to that shit. I mean, Tonka, how many times have we sat down and listened to fucking streams for hours, going through and listening to it?
Well, I remember the situation where all your shit had got flagged down, and we were having to find one line out of several hours of dumb shit, and we found it. That was
him admitting the
ridiculous shit went through. And that's one of the few times I haven't done that often, because that is not my gimmick. But I did it that time.
Yeah,
and it was worth it. You finally find what you're looking for, and boom, you're good.
And I do that sort of shit a lot. So if you've seen a clip, you've probably seen it, like we'll send, here's the link, go and check the whole thing in context if you really want to watch the entire 2-hour live stream. We've been like really courteous by finding the timestamp for you, because we've gone through this. Like I will have gone through that stream. If I'm going to present something like that, it won't be a timestamp somebody sent me. It'll be, if I get sent a timestamp, I will listen back. I will listen back to make sure that the person sending it to me isn't just having a bias. And I'm not just going to go, oh, well, you sent me a timestamp, I don't like that person. No, I'll listen to the stream. I'll listen to what they have to say. Otherwise, you're just being disingenuous. You're being dishonest. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Let me see. Mr. Steven Sky says Matt strikes accounts because he can. He's rancid filth. Sinatra says more than one backup channel. Laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah, these days
Sinatra
you gotta
has about 30.
Yeah.
Something like that. About 30 now. Yeah.
Tactical Viking says, did Matt take down all Medical Archive channels or just COG?
I wonder.
Yeah. Let me see. Kyler for 5 says, I don't actually think Andy and JF were that good together. I didn't get enough of Andy's humor over the big brain stuff. He was in the back seat. Stoner
I've heard that take.
Yeah. Stoner McMuffin says, for $2, Ben is a pedo. Ask him about the accusations. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll address this. This is some admittingly overly autistic person on Twitter that always feels the need to throw baseless accusations towards me. And there's no evidence. If there was evidence, it would be everywhere. I'd be investigated. I'd be charged. So this is bullshit.
Yeah.
People love to just throw that around. That's some cowardly bullshit. Unless you have proof, fuck off.
Oh, somebody said that was TJ. I didn't know that. People do throw that around when they don't like somebody. They just like to use the word. Go ahead.
Right. So yeah,
I didn't
people
mean
said
to
that
cut
about
you
TJ. Oh no, you're fine. People said that about TJ. People said that about. I mean, the guy who was saying it a lot was Brett Keane, because that was Brett Keane's trump card, which is funny because we used to laugh at it all the time, but now people do it all the time. People literally just throw it around like it's whatever. Like, I don't like you, I'll start a rumor that you're a pedo, so that people will just believe it. Because it does happen a lot. Someone reads something on the internet and then they just believe it automatically.
Yeah.
I had the same thing the other day with, I think, Kevin Logan, who had to come onto my channel because he was like, oh, you said something about me wrong in a stream, so I brought him on, and I apologised. Simple as that. But then we had a lot more stuff to discuss as well, where he's been wrong. But actually, through that conversation, he did privatise the video of Aiden Paladin, where he called Aiden a Holocaust denier. We went through that, explained why she wasn't, and he actually has privatised the video now. So something actually came from that stream, which was great.
Yeah, that's fair. Karen says, it's all just a lack of emotional intelligence. Ulf Vikings says, Naked Ape has made some claims against DP Ben. Bring him on about the pedo claims.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooper Croton says to JF, Aaron is the female personification of Andy. Fucking Aaron. Slick Dragon says Tonka has been fair to JF and level-headed respect. Ulf Viking says JF has cried, choked up many times these past weeks. He is the emotional one. His voice did get a little shaky.
Maybe.
A little shaky yesterday. Mr. Brown says, Ben, would you fight TJ on the Kumite?
No. No, I will not.
No.
Let me see. Leo the Bum Tickler says, Scrub, go back to your early bird boomer buffet. Is Scrub even here?
I'm here, sorry, I was taking a nap. Just getting in before the day begins.
Alright, let me see, what else? Trashman says, Tonka, why are you going after Jim? First baked to then JF, and now this. I'm concerned about how you're pushing people away like this. That screen grab was really troubling. I just want everyone to be friends. Tonka?
The internet is not a hold box. So.
Apparently not. I'm guessing they're talking about the screenshot that Medica put up. It's a fugazi.
Fugazi. What's Fugazi? You went out for a second. What was that?
Talking about that fake screenshot that Medica put up. They're asking why you're talking shit about Medica.
Well, yeah.
You guys can't be silent. You're making me think my internet's fucking going out.
Sorry,
it's dumb.
I didn't want to go on a rant for you.
All right, no, the signs are dead. You could go on and rant, and if my internet dies, it dies. It's just I wanted to make sure I got the business out of the way. Now we can have the laughs.
Oh shit! I've just opened the side chat. It just says cog ... rain. At least it's not thunder.
Yeah, you could go off on your rants now. I was just fucking. I was hearing the thunder and the rain coming in the distance.
Yeah, it's
thunder and rain coming in the distance. Your shit's not shut off yet.
No, it's not. But fucking power goes off every now and then, and I kind of am the one hosting this fucking shit, so. Kind of has me anxious here. Just waiting for the fucking plug to be pulled out of the wall. Cog, you can not shut up now. Talk.
Look, I tried to talk. Honestly, I honestly tried to talk to Andy today, personally. I know we're going to go back to Andy, guys, but I tried to talk to Andy today because I had my own points of view on what I'd seen and shit like that. I think I messaged both of you two about it as well. I've just done a little clip video that I've made it unlisted because I kind of see it from a point of view of Andy like making a step and stuff like that, but I think to an extent he might have crossed over his own, like, I don't know, I just see it as a little bit contradictory to what he said the night before. But again, it was like there's kind of a, like I said, there's been a lot that's happened in like a couple of days, so I can kind of get him, because he does have that moment where he's just like, no, that's it, I'm not going to take this anymore, I'm not going to stop being a little bitch, and that's kind of like that's kind of like a little step.
Logic happening here. This is all emotion, and they keep saying emotion, and it's like, what the fuck is with the emotion?
Oh, sorry, that just makes me
have a conversation. It's not that deep.
But they
don't let it get that deep.
But Andy, I love you, Andy. I love you too, JF. That's what we've been hearing.
Maybe Max should get on the case. Max could fix a lot of things.
They'll be all right. I'm sure they'll be fine. It's just gonna let it dust settle after the breakup now, guys. That's right. Just Andy's got to get a rebound. Let's sort that out for him. Who's the rebound?
Are you gonna try to go for the seat?
No, I'm all right. I'm all right. Like, I'll be fine. I think I've just about got streaming on my channel. I think I'd piss Andy off.
How about you, Ben?
What for the new co-host position?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I got enough on my plate already, but I'm free to make occasional appearances from time to time.
You would jump on for a one night stand with him?
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Oh, I'd do that, yeah. But I couldn't make it like a daily thing with him because I'm trying to do my own thing daily too at the same time. So
It's good to diversify.
yeah, I like to jump on every so often to other streams. Obviously, it's always fun.
I'll say this: if Andy's thinking about bringing back Fair Enough, fucking kill myself.
Who's Fair Enough?
Exactly.
Don't I know what Fair Enough was.
That show sucked.
Oh,
It was a good idea, but it was fucking just
Yeah, it was
the
like
roster
the
was
lack of
not right
confidence.
for what the fuck he wanted, and just constantly having this safe word of well, fair enough. Oh fuck.
Why is there always safe words on Andy's channel? He needs to stop with the safe words.
Larmus says Rags. I haven't talked to Rags in a long time.
Yeah, Rags is cool.
I don't know.
Rags I'm thinking of. No, it's not. I think I'm thinking of Orwell.
There's a worry that this shit's just gonna go way too. It's gonna go from being this one direction, it's gonna go way another direction. I don't fucking know. They're grown. Fucking grown.
Somebody said Andy needs a black guy to be his new co-host. I'm sure that would go over well.
Didn't he used to have an Asian guy as his co-host?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, Chris is the best Warski. That's the truth.
Wow,
Chris is the
shots
best
fired.
Warski. He's
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah, at this point,
That's legit.
Andy's like the third best Forsky.
Oh god. I like Chris. Chris is just a nice guy. He's really like keyed on, and he's like, you know, he's very business orientated though. That's the thing, and he stays in the background and just does all that. But man, he's a great guy to have a conversation with.
No, yeah, I never had a problem with Chris. I think the problem with Chris is he got tired of the anti-SJW material. Just wasn't interested, and kind of just faded into the background where, you know, he was no longer there.
Well, he's still in the background, you know. Give him a phone call. Can you copyright liberalist? Sorted, done. You know, Chris,
Yeah,
you
he
get
was
that shit
always
done.
around. It was just he doesn't like debate. That's not what Chris likes to do.
Chris gets shit done. That's what he does.
Yeah. It just sucks. I enjoyed watching what they did when I was able to watch what they did. There were a lot of streams that I did catch in their entirety. A good bit of them, no. I just had to see clips, but I enjoyed what I saw. I thought they were good together. So, I still stick with best case that both can look for is that like now just I know how they're both going to be about pride. To where they just okay, fine. Both have your brands. Come together once a week, once a month. Do a show together.
I think you're right.
Build your brands. You know, be SmackDown, Raw, and do pay-per-views together. Just fucking calm down.
So the answer was what Andy wanted originally, to do one show a week.
Yes.
Maybe if that's what Andy was wanting to do, then maybe.
Well, what does he make? So last month he made, what, 11 videos, I think it was. Because I did some numbers on a few channels the other day just for jokes. So I think he made 11 videos last month. So how many is that over like 4 weeks? So you're talking about 3 a week or something he's on, something like that. So to him to go down to 1 isn't that bad, but he'll go down to probably, in comparison to views, at least from what I'm seeing, he'll be down to basically Jeff and Monday Matt's like level of views. But obviously Monday Matt uploads 73 times a month, and I think Jeff does it 4 times a month, something like that. Yeah, these were numbers. I was just comparing them just for jokes. Like Andy's tripling the numbers right now. Because when it comes to views, which, like he said before, sub count is bullshit. It really is. Mine goes up and down like fucking something. I don't even care anymore. I'm sure people sub to me to unsub from me just to fucking take the piss. You know what I mean? So I just don't care with that anyway. It's for me, like I'll always see like if it hits another milestone, oh hey, I got another 1,000 or something, cool, nice one. But at the same time, it's like I used to do that as like a big stream, like oh I've got 1,000, and now I'm kind of just like I kind of mention it in the stream, like oh yeah, I hit 16,000 by the way. just mention it. It's not really an issue because it's not. It's more about being entertaining to your audience and that your audience are actually enjoying it. But I have this whole thing about remaining or keeping my integrity simultaneously. So yeah, it's a fun balance.